Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is All in the Charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. You gotta click the bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday.
Get on with the ceremony.
Now, props to anybody who actually knows what that soundbite came from. Props to anybody who knows. Guys, I know if you've been subscribed to this channel for a while, you know that I have an interesting way sometimes of coming about communicating my messaging, right? I have a really corny sense of humor. Sometimes I go a little bit over the top with certain things I do, but that is just me. There are, if you actually go back in time and you evaluate my live stream, since I've been going live since March on All in the Charts, how many times can you honestly remember me getting very excited? Like really excited. I would call today what we are about to witness on the monthly close. It has the potential. We'll have to see where the price indicators and price levels are coming in. This, and I really get goosebumps thinking about this, this has the potential to set us up for what I have been speaking to since late last year. Now, late last year, in October specifically, when I had published a video, in October of 2022, I had spoken to roughly this. I had spoken to the idea that we had gone through an expanded flat correction. This B wave tricked everybody, including myself. This was one of these macro moves that, quite honestly, I fucked up on, but I learned from. We went up to 69 above 64. Everyone called this the euphoric blow off top, which was not the case in my opinion. This was the parabolic euphoric top. This was part of a correction. And I said in 2023, Bitcoin would be going to $100,000 plus. I was wrong. I was wrong again from a timing perspective. It's one of the things I'm going to consider moving forward in terms of what I plan to communicate. So many people pay attention to specifics of when specifically something is going to happen. But this is still the general premise of what I'm anticipating. As the price data developed in 2023, I said, hey, no, we're not going to have a blow-off top this year. I communicated that much, I think in July. And I said I still believe, based on the price data, nothing has changed. We've just extended it out a few months. And I believe within the first half of 2024, possibly as late as July, we're going to see a blow-off top in Bitcoin, and then for crypto, for your altcoins to see their blow-off tops as they typically do after that time period. Here you can see I have a blow-off top projected around the halving date. I've spoken about the halving date. So many people are following this yellow brick road about how price is they have a movie script. If you've been following me, you know this. They literally have a movie script for Bitcoin. We're not gonna, I've quoted some popular people in Twitter Spaces and YouTube. 2023 is going to be a boring year. We're going to consolidate in the $30,000 area. I really don't expect much, and then we're going to have about another 6 months to accumulate. And we know what happens around the halving date. We're then going to enter this euphoric top, sometime in late 2025. Guys, anything is possible, but when most people are expecting the same thing, the chances are the market's not going to give you that opportunity, right? Because we'd all be millionaires if that was the case. October is lending itself into CBG's thought process here. October is setting itself up based on price action and based on price indicators. We're going to look at the monthly close live, and you guys know that the higher time frame price action is what matters most. There's more significance on the higher time frame price action, given there's enough price data to warrant it, than the lower time frame price action, okay? But the October close, I can't state this enough. This really has been PUMPtober, okay? And November and December, as I indicated, I know it was boring, guys. When we were back here, if you stuck with me, I just want to say thank you. I really want to say thank you. Sticking through me during a very boring time when everyone was so impatient, quite frankly, with this price action in here and then this price action in here. And I attempted to communicate to everyone, stick in it. Stay with me here, okay? Nothing has substantially changed in the chart. We're creating the higher highs and higher lows. Let's just be patient. Remember, we go through historically in crypto these long drawn-out periods of correction, and depending where we're at, consolidation as well. And then we go through these really short spurts where there's just a monumental rise in price. That's the data speaking, okay? That's not me making this up. This is me communicating to you what's in the charts here. Now, you can see right now, before we get into the monthly close live in 4 minutes, we're going to close the charts out, and I'm going to speak to 3 indicators specifically on the monthly chart that I have never spoken to before on this channel. And when all 3 fire, it signals to us historically that we are in pursuit of a blow-off top sooner than most people think. With that being said, let's get into the charts here, and let's start off with a lower time frame. This is a 4-hour. Nothing has changed. You can see based on the technical target that I have drawn up here, once TradingView cooperates with me, you can see I have this drawn up in the $40,000 area. Let's not get cute. Maybe it's $40,400, $41,000, whatever it's in the $40,000 region. If this breaks to the upside, okay? News follows the charts and not the other way around. So it'll be interesting to see the higher probability scenario. Again, I can't definitively tell you what's going to happen. No chartist, by the way, if you're following anyone, thumbs up if you appreciate the realism on this channel. I would appreciate the support, by the way. There is no technical analyst in this space, no matter how many years of experience he or she has, that can definitively tell you what's going to happen. No one. No one can do that. And if someone is telling you that, I would suggest running the other way. What I can tell you is that based on this pattern present on the 4-hour chart, guys, we can look at it on we could condense it to an 8-hour chart. It doesn't really matter. This is a bull pennant, and it has a higher probability of breaking to the upside. Could it fail and break down? Sure. Could we get a fake out and then a break up? Sure. Could we fake to the upside and then break down? Absolutely. There are a whole host of scenarios and associated probabilities with those scenarios. But the higher probability scenario in this case is a major break to the upside and seeing $40,000 plus in November. Okay, that is the higher probability scenario. It's also going to go in tangent with the monthly chart, which we're going to take a look at in 2 minutes. Under 2 minutes, we're going to take a look at this monthly chart. Guys, what I've communicated to you, and nothing has changed, my expectations, this is just, I'm getting very excited because we've been in this massive correction since, technically we've been in a correction since April of 2021, okay? This has been a long time coming. And I am ready for a whole host of scenarios that I've spoken about on this live stream before. There are a whole host of scenarios where Bitcoin could triple top. Bitcoin could do pretty much in lockstep what I'm saying. Bitcoin may not have a blow-off top until 2025. There are a whole host of scenarios, but right now, October is lending itself in the court of what I have been speaking to. Again, in the fourth quarter here, what I want to see from Bitcoin, let's close the year out between $35.5 and $48,000. I believe, based on education, that Bitcoin could hit a top as high this year as $48,000. I think $52,000, like I've said, is possible, but $48,000. But I want to land in this orange box and continue to take those stair steps up to heaven and Valhalla and above until we enter our parabolic trajectory. And I've signaled, guys, I have a wide zone there, a wide zone of possibilities for Bitcoin's top ranging anywhere between $80,000 to upwards of $150,000 depending when it tops. And again, I will plan to release a video with a handful of data points I plan to look at that tell me more than likely when Bitcoin has topped or is extremely close to topping. Again, I think it's more important, and we've gotten our monthly close. I think it is more important. I want to stress this to you guys if you're tuning in for the first time. It is much more important to identify the keep it stupid simple handset of indicators you plan to look at to tell you the market, or Bitcoin in this case, has more than likely topped or is very close to topping, versus saying, oh, it's going to go to 80,000 or 90,000 or 110,000. That is less important. You need to have the data in front of you, keeping it stupid simple, to tell you, okay, these things have flashed. More than likely we've topped or we're close to topping. I'm out. I'm going to start scaling out of my investment, okay? All coins are going to top 15, 20, 30, 40, 60 days later. I'm going to start scaling out. That is the more important thing, and that's what I plan to release a video on. Guys, let's take a look at the monthly. Now, the first chart I want to take a look at, thank you for everyone new tuning in. Thumbs up if you're appreciating the content. Monthly, first thing I want to look at, we got it. We got it, we got it, we got it, we got it, we got it. Look at what's going on here. Stochastic RSI. Now, I told you guys on the monthly, this is what we wanted to see. Things are beginning to line up here. I had an area of price confluence at 75. We held it. I've spoken to that on this live stream. We had a negative cross, but we held the 75. We have since crossed back up on the monthly. Guys, this is monumentally, historically significant that we're maintaining a stochastic RSI above 75, and we've now gotten our positive cross, and we're back up above 90. I've spoken to this relentlessly. Now, the next thing I want to see, this RSI level is at 56.2 currently as the monthly candlestick printed. I want to see this RSI jump up to 59. Hell, get up to 60. There's an area of price confluence right above where we're at. Think about this. We're at 56.2. I want to see a 5% move, just a 5% move in the RSI to get us back above this RSI reading at 58.6. We haven't been above there since November of 2021. Dear Lord, that would be monumental. That was 2 years ago. We haven't been above there. Typically, when we're above that area of resistance, of that area of price confluence on the monthly for Bitcoin, there are monumental rises up in price. So we have a 5% move in the RSI that I want to see. But guys, check out this MACD. This exceeded my expectations. This exceeded my expectations. This is beautiful to see. So I will interpret this for you. So what's going on with the MACD is not only did we get a positive cross, not only is the histogram picking up with dark green momentum indicators here, the MACD is above the trigger line of 0. For the first time on the monthly for Bitcoin, it's had its first positive cross since back here in July of 2020, after the beer virus dilemma. Guys, these are all positive signs, okay? Now let's actually get the price action, because price action is king. I was looking forward to doing this. There's a red area of resistance at 31.8. Thank you, baby Jesus. We can finally turn that into a green area of support. I've been speaking about it on the weekly. Guys, if you were tuned into the live stream the entire year, we had this huge red zone. This whole area was red for resistance here for the entire year we were talking about it. We just flipped it to green officially, okay? This is green as well. Of course, this is at 29,000. It's not too long ago we were at 26,000. Remember, these moves in this market happen very quickly. Now, technically, from a TA perspective, we need a candle body confirmation this month that these levels here are going to hold as support. So while we got the breakout above 31.8 and 29,000, this is the month in November. We can wick all the way down here. Again, as I state on this channel, price wicks are an expression of what? Volatility. What matters is the candle body close. I could give 2 shits less if we come down to 29,000 or 31.8. But I don't want to close below there. I want this candle body to serve as the confirming candle body that these areas are going to be true support. So this is going to be our confirming candle body this month. You can see how close we are to our next levels on the monthly resistance of 37.5, 38.4, 45.5, and 47,000 that I have marked as areas of price confluence on the monthly. Guys, this is the main chart I wanted to get into. And I want to give credit where credit is due. This is the monthly chart. Now, there are 3 price indicators, technically 4, that I have indicated on this chart. The first is the vortex indicator. I want to give credit to TechDev52, who was the first person to point out that I saw point out this indicator where I took note of it. I'm not saying he's the first person to point out the indicator. I'm saying of those TA technical analysts that I follow, he was the first one that pointed this out. So I want to give credit to TechDev52. The next indicator is the Traders Dynamic Index, okay? The person who pointed out this indicator for the first time that I saw mentioned was Steve from Crypto Crew University on YouTube. You can find him on YouTube. And the next set of indicators were the ADX and DI. Now, I don't know who the hell pointed this out, to be honest with you. I've been following these indicators for a very long time, so I can't give anyone credit. But the unique thing that I've done with these 3 indicators, okay, is I have paired them all up here on the monthly chart. And what I have found is a positive correlation existing between price action going into a euphoric parabolic phase and when all 3 trigger. Okay, so let's step back through time here and let me clearly explain what's going on. What we want on the vortex indicator is the blue above the red. What we want on the Trader Dynamic Index here, Traders Dynamic Index, we want the green above the red, above the orange. Now, let me share with you where these indicators are at. Let me move my face out of the way. Let me actually turn off the camera. Let me see if I can turn off the camera temporarily. Here, I'll just move my face up. I can't figure this out real quick. The vortex indicator, if you guys want to pull this up on a monthly, okay, you can see the VI plus is the blue, VI negative is red, and these are your inputs, or input of 14, okay? For the Trader Dynamic Index, okay, you can see these are the inputs, okay? You can pause the video if you want to set this up later. The style, all I have is the middle band orange, the slow moving average red, and the fast moving average green, okay? So you can set that up. The ADX and DI are the default options. I haven't changed anything there. But the key thing to keep in mind, again, first, for the Vortex Index, we want the blue above the red, okay? That's our first trigger, 1 of 3. Second of 3, we want, let me move the camera again, sorry, moving the camera around here. On the Traders Dynamic Index, we want the green above the red, above the orange. That is what causes a trigger on that price indicator, okay? So you can see I have this outlined here. Now on the ADX and DI, what you want is the ADX is the orange line. You want that to fire positive, and the trigger line is at 20, okay? So you want the ADX above the trigger line, and you want the green above the trigger line and the red below the trigger line. So the way to think of it, the easiest way to think of the DI is the green and the red. So you want the green above the red for the DI, and the ADX, which is the orange line, needs the trigger above that 20 trigger line, okay, the orange line. When all 3 have fired, which is the point in time I'm indicating here in August of 2016, that is when all 3 triggers fired by that candle body close. Look what happened. From the end of August, let's just say from the beginning of September, from September of 2016, we went on a parabolic journey to our blow-off top in December of 2017. That was just over 12 months later. Okay, that was, I'm not good with math, I'm an actuary. That was 15 months later, okay? So when all 3 of these indicators fired, we had a parabolic rise in price and had a blow-off top. It didn't happen back here. It didn't happen, all 3 did not fire in here. All 3 did fire here. All three fired here. The second time that all three triggers fired, Vortex, blue above the red. Traders Dynamic Index, green above red, above orange. The DI, you can see, look at the mouth on that thing. Look, it's like an alligator mouth. The green is way above the red, and the ADX is above our trigger line of 20. When all three fired, they started to fire in October of 2020. It's pretty funny, right? Exactly 3 years ago. October 2020, we went on a parabolic journey up until April of 2021. So this was a shorter time period. This was 15 months, 14 to 15 months here, okay? 14 to 15 months here. This looks like about 6 to 7 months here, okay? 6 to 7 months here, 14 to 15 months here. So this was about half the time frame. Now, let's look at this live. I have not looked at this, obviously, before this live stream because we're doing this live. So this monthly candlestick just printed. Let's talk about what's going on. Now, we got our bullish monthly close. We just talked about everything that was bullish about this monthly close, right? So far, we got a check box here. We got the blue above the red, right? Blue above the red. And, okay, this is as close as it gets. On the Trader Dynamic Index, this is pretty crazy, doing this live. We got the green above the red, okay? The red and the orange, it looks like to me, let's take a closer look at this. Yeah, the red is above the orange. They're reading the same indicator. Now, what I want to see this month, I want to see this orange line, okay? To me, this is a positive cross, but I'm not as crazy about it. And does anybody see why? Can anybody take a guess why? This orange line is sloping down. I want to see this flatten out in November and December and begin to curl up, okay? So this orange line is trending down. I want to see it flatten out in November, December timeframe. But we do have a positive cross here, okay? We do have a positive cross. But let's get to the ADX and DI. This is the biggest one that we need to see clear up. And actually, if you look at the ADX and DI indicator on the weekly, which is what I have routinely done on this channel, along with the Williams alligator indicator on price, I've routinely looked at that. What you can see on the ADX and DI is we do not have a trigger yet. We do not, okay? And the reason is because while the green is above the red, that is correct. The green is above the red. We have that mouth open. Look at where the ADX is at. The ADX is all the way down here, okay? The ADX is all the way down around 10, okay? It's at a 10 reading. This thing, I think my camera might be in the way. This ADX, the orange line down here, we need this thing to get above 20. Now, realistically, how much time would it take for this thing to truly trigger down here? I think realistically, you're looking at December at the very earliest, but more so the first quarter of 2024. Again, we need all three of these things to trigger. Right now, 2 of the 3 have triggered. We have not gotten the third confirmation that we need. You need to follow the ADX and DI on the monthly. When you see the ADX, which is the orange line, get above 20, so long as this green is still above the red on the DI, and all these triggers have still been firing, then it's just based on history. We only have a sample size of 2, but again, we have limited price data on Bitcoin. History tells us that we're 2 for 2 on seeing a parabolic rise on Bitcoin. But we need to stay patient, guys. This is a huge bullish monthly close for Bitcoin. And we're going to take a look at the 2-month in a moment here. But this is a huge bullish monthly close for Bitcoin, but we need to remain patient. We can't get ahead of ourselves. The way I would phrase it to you is the way that I feel and the way that I believe you should feel about current price action is being very cautiously optimistic, very cautiously positive. I feel very positive. I feel very optimistic regarding where this is going in the first half of next year, but I'm still cautious about it because everything has not fired that I want to see fire, right? So I want this trigger to fire like it did back here. I need this ADX above 20. The DI has triggered. The Trader Dynamic Index has triggered. The Vortex Index has triggered. I just need this ADX to cross above 20. When that happens, I'm going to feel increasingly more confident regarding the parabolic top that we're going to see in the first half of 2024. Based on these price indicators, based on price action, is it still realistic to believe that something like this could happen? Again, my sweet spot is Bitcoin topping sometime between April and June. That's kind of my sweet spot, okay? Is this really realistic to assume this based on current price action? Absolutely. We need things to continue on the upwards trajectory, which based on this bull flag, again, the higher probabilities are that we're going to see price action moving up to 40,000 in the shorter term. Let's take a quick look at the 2-month chart. One of the things we can look at during this monthly close for October is a 2-month close on Bitcoin. Let's take a look together. Didn't really take a look at this too much before the live stream, so we'll look at it together. You can see here, we haven't gotten a positive cross in the MACD yet. Obviously, if November and December come in bullish here, what's going to happen is if we do see a bullish close for this next 2-month candlestick, which will encompass the price action in both November and December, we're going to see a positive cross in the MACD. So that should come in. But we have to be patient. We have to wait to see that that's going to happen. Stochastic RSI is looking great because we are positive and we're above 20. We're at 30.4 over 24.2, okay? The RSI, I haven't studied this on the 2-month to see where it looks like, we still want to get above this like 58 to 59 area. We're lining up at 56. A little bit of work to do on the RSI, right? So if November and December come in as bullish as I'm anticipating them coming in, we close the year out, like let's just say we close the year out at 42,000, right? We close the year out at 42,337. Here, I'll provide people love getting specific numbers on price predictions, right? Which is not what you should be focused on. But let's say we close out the year at 42,337. If that were to happen and we do get a bullish close for the year like I am anticipating, you're going to get your RSI above 58, 59, and you're going to get this positive cross in the MACD. So very, very good to see. Wanted to very quickly get into Ethereum and its monthly close in terms of how it looked. Let's look at the price indicators. We haven't gotten the positive cross in the MACD. Again, if we get some momentum picking up in Ethereum, you're going to see this thing cross quick. Guys, I remember being here in 2020 and 21. Ethereum was so boring, and then all of a sudden, it just started escalating significantly in price. I know Solana is the story right now. I know XRP is seeing a nice pump right now. Ethereum is still the #1 altcoin. Do not ignore it, because when it moves, it's going to move, and it's going to be good for every single altcoin that you own, because it's going to instill confidence in the market. What it'll also do is it'll lend itself to a shift in narrative and emotion of the retail investor in this space. When they see Ethereum picking up, they're going to say, okay, now is the time that I need to focus on my altcoins and not so much Bitcoin. There's going to be money flooding into your altcoins. You got to keep an eye on Ethereum. You cannot ignore it, okay? Solana is not going to flip Ethereum next year. That's not going to happen. You have to keep an eye on Ethereum. The RSI is looking good. We're at 50, but we want to start pushing up to the same levels that I spoke to on Bitcoin. Stochastic RSI looks good. Now, this is important because we did have a negative cross down similarly to Bitcoin on the stochastic RSI, and you can see here we've gotten our positive cross back up. We want to push up above 80 here. So very, very good to see on the monthly. Now, I haven't seen anyone else speak to this, but I also pointed out an exponential moving average on the monthly chart for Ethereum that is important. Typically, there have been some head fakes, and you can see them here, and you can see a temporary head fake here, and even here. But generally, when we've seen our parabolic rises in price, the monthly closes have been above the 15 exponential moving average on the monthly. You can see based on the current close. Let's see where we closed at. I think we closed right at the moving. No, we closed above it, okay? So very good to see that we're closing back above this 15 exponential moving average, guys. I think there are way too many things I've been evaluating lately, and I've been coming at this, believe me, because I got burned like many technicians who I value, whose opinions I value in the space, believe me, did not see this irregular expanded flat correction coming into the market. I learned a lot from that. I'm looking at the data unbiasedly and considering a whole host of scenarios. Based on the data that I've been looking at, though, and that I've been sharing with you, there are a lot of things lining up right now that are giving credence to the notion that we're going to see significant moves up in the market over the coming several months here. The last chart I wanted to take a look at, I want to get to your comments here. I feel bad. I haven't looked at the comments. Generally, I engage with you guys at this point, but there's so much to cover. And I will be, by the way, if this is your first time on the live stream, click that bell icon for all notifications. Show a little love on the likes because it does help to spread the content out to more people so that I have more viewers on here absorbing logical content and not hype in the space. I go live every day. I go live every single day. So typically I go live around 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I will be back tomorrow. The monthly charts that we haven't had an opportunity to cover today, I wanted to look at traditional markets because we need to know how the traditional market's doing. It's not going to be a risk-on environment for crypto for people to pour money into if traditional markets are tanking, right? They're not going to decorrelate completely from one another, despite what people are saying, okay? So we need traditional markets to do well. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at the DXY. We'll take a look at your XRPs, your Solanas tomorrow. So make sure that you tune in. The other thing that I wanted to make you guys aware of is I will be out of commission next week. I will not be live streaming next week. So unfortunately, I'll be unavailable. I selfishly hope the market doesn't pump next week because I'm going to be extremely pissed off, like I said yesterday, if I miss the opportunity to live stream during that time. Now, this is an extremely important chart. This is the last chart I wanted to cover, and then I am going to get into the comments here. Thank you for the engagement in the live stream. What we are witnessing on the total market cap here, and again, I'm not going to give you fluff on this channel. If you guys know this, I routinely do on here TA Q&A. And when you guys ask me to chart something and it looks like a dumpster fire, I tell you it looks like a dumpster fire. I never tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what the chart is saying. And the reason that I say that is because even when I'm looking at this chart, it is making me feel very good and very cautiously optimistic about what I'm seeing here. So what am I seeing in this chart? What is making me feel so good? Well, first off, we got our first positive cross on the MACD, and this histogram has picked up in a significant way. Look at this red fading, and look at this nice, big, green, dark histogram movement on the MACD. And we have a positive cross. Now, we're not above the zero trigger line, but again, if November and December come in relative to my expectations, this MACD will cross above zero in the fourth quarter of this year if we are as bullish as I believe we are, okay? Now, the last time we got a positive cross on the MACD, was back here, and that was, guys, did you see this? Do you see where that is right now? Let me make sure you can see that. You do see where that's at, right? June of 2020. Again, I'm not good with math, but that is nearly, wow, 2020? That is nearly 3.5 years ago. Nearly, did you hear what I just said? We got our first bullish cross on the monthly MACD on the total cryptocurrency market cap since June of 2020. Nearly 3.5 years ago. This has been a long time coming. Why do you think I'm so excited? Again, cautiously optimistic and excited, but excited nonetheless. Now let's take a look at what else is going on in this chart. The RSI is at 53. We need that to pick up, and I want to start seeing that thing head towards 60. The thing I like to see here, though, look at this stochastic RSI. Again, with the rest of the market, with Bitcoin and Ethereum, we temporarily saw this little head fake here. This is a head fake, guys. I put out a video and said, could we have a sinister September? There were charts that were caution flags, and I spoke to those. I have a video out. You can check that out. It's all factual. It's all based on probabilities that, you know, we could see some sort of a quick capitulation event where we see a deep correction and then a move up. Never got it. All those charts cleared up for the time being. They have cleared up for the time being. This was part of that. So this stochastic RSI, where we got our negative cross down, it has cleared up. That is very, very good to see. That makes That makes a crypto bull god very happy, or the crypto bull god very happy. Now, we've closed the month above a historical area of prior resistance. Let's focus on price action. Above $1.14 trillion. I can remember the times we were well under $1 trillion down here. Okay, we've gotten back above here. You can see all the areas of resistance up here. Now, we did get a close back above here in, actually, the thing I think I want to point out here, I actually want to focus on here. I'm just seeing this now. Right now, where did we go here? 1.26 and 1.26, 127. There, right now, we are poking our head. You see that? This area right here this was our prior swing high. You see this right here? We wicked up to 1.26 trillion. You can see we poked our head above it, but this right now is a double top. We're trying to get above there. This will be significant if we're as bullish as I believe we're going to be this quarter. In November, December, if we can manage to at the very least get in this area, we haven't had a candle body close in that area since back here in April of 2022. So that'll be that'll be a year and a half, over a year and a half. And again, 1.8 is a really significant area once we can start getting back up here. I mean, we haven't had a close there since March of 22, and you can see there is far less price confluence in that area, right? But what we want to do at this point, what is causing us a temporary problem right now is getting above let's just call it it is 1.26. So I was going to say 1.3, but 1.26 trillion, okay, in market cap. Once you start seeing, and the way you can do this, you can actually go to CoinGecko, you can go to CoinMarketCap. If you're not a chartist, which actually, it's interesting. This says 1.33 trillion. TradingView says 1.26 trillion. That is interesting. I wonder if CoinMarketCap lines up. I don't know why it's so difficult for CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko just not be on the same page. Here's what I would suggest. If you are using TradingView, use CoinMarketCap because this is at least a little bit closer to what TradingView is showing. Yeah, that's what I would do. When you start to see this market cap, and you can see there's still a little bit of a differential here. When you see this going up towards like 1.4, 1.5 trillion, that is when you know momentum is picking up because now what we're starting to do is smash through this resistance here, and we're heading up towards this 1.6, 1.5, and 1.8 trillion, okay? Momentum is picking up in the total crypto market cap. There's absolutely no question about it. All right, let me get into the comments here. And again, if I can't chart something or if I don't have time to chart something or answer a question, again, I will be live tomorrow. I'm going to be back here at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. You can always, even if you can't tune in live, completely understand and appreciate the support. You can always watch in syndication. The other thing I stress to people, real quick, I do this routinely with channels that I follow. Oftentimes when I'm speaking to price, you do not need to be in front of your computer or tablet or phone and watching what I'm saying. You can actually, and I try to do this as I'm speaking, I try to think about this, quite oftentimes you can actually just listen to me and you can still get a lot from the auditory portion of the YouTube live stream. You don't necessarily have to watch everything. You can listen to what I'm saying and you can still pick up enough from that. So just food for thought, because quite often I think as a society and I'm guilty of this too, we're always multitasking, right? We're always multitasking. I'm listening to YouTube videos all the time as I'm cleaning or making dinner or doing something like that. So just food for thought. Let me get into the comments here. DJ, it's always good to see you here. DT, good morning. Hope you're having a nice big cup of black cafe. Jorge, welcome in. Good to see you as always. YC, I'm feeling pretty well, looking forward to seeing how price action is going to finish this year. Getting cautiously optimistic, like I said, and positive. Oof. I'm feeling a pump too, my friend. Earthwalker, welcome in. Good to see you. Dorkle community. Oof. There is a possibility for everything. I'm not going to tell you that Bitcoin I'm not going to tell you it's impossible for Bitcoin to hit $100,000 this year, what I will tell you is it's highly unlikely. It is highly unlikely. I do not see that happening. And I spoke to that back in July. I just don't see that happening. I don't think it's I don't think it's a realistic possibility. Again, there's a probability for everything. There's a probability the entire chart. I just want to level set the conversation with everyone. I am an actuary for those that don't know. So at the end of the day, as corny and kooky as I seem sometimes, I'm actually a pretty logical person, else I couldn't be doing this, quite frankly. But at the end of the day, I rely on the facts. And the facts say this. There is a probability this could roll over and go all the way down to zero. There is a probability we could have an astronomical rise in price and go to $100,000 before January 1st of 2024. But the reality is those probabilities are like infinitesimally small, okay? They're so teeny tiny, it's not even worth talking about, quite frankly. Kathleen, welcome in. It's good to see the enforcer in the house. Kathleen, you got to enforce those thumbs up. It's always half the amount of likes as viewers. I can't understand that. As a content creator, I really, truly appreciate how much the thumbs up and comments mean, because you have no idea... you have no idea if you're not a YouTube content creator about all this, the nuances of this stuff. So that stuff really does matter if you appreciate the content. Like literally just taking your fucking pinky or elbow and just hitting the thumbs up. Mike T, no significant developments on Digibyte. You asked me this the other day. You must hold a lot of Digibyte. When there is something significant, I will share it with the community, but there's nothing significant at the moment. You are the 4-year cycle believer, DJ. Philly Faithful. Go Birds. I haven't seen you on the live stream in a long time, my friend. Good to see you. Let's keep the talk to Eagles. We don't want to talk about any other sports teams for obvious reasons. I think you know what I'm speaking to. Go Birds. They're going to kick the shit out of the Cowboys. Does anybody, by the way, at the opening of the live stream, did anyone recognize that video segment at the top? I am definitely dating myself by playing that video. I don't really care. But did anyone recognize that? I am definitely zooming out, trying to level set the conversation. Track, welcome in. If CBG is out of the market, it's gonna. If CBG is out, the market's gonna pump. I know. Yeah. It sucks that I'm gonna be unavailable. It's just 1 week. I'll be back the following week. It fucking sucks based on where the market's at, I know, but life sometimes is inconvenient, right? I'll just leave it at that. But I will be back the following week. Juan, welcome in. Juan, we've been in a bull market since we bottomed at 15,000 back in 2022. That's what people don't... You have to understand, the people who are the chartists and the technical analysts who strictly follow the charts and the data, this live stream is called All in the Charts, that would be myself included, we recognize that the bull market or the bull run, it started right here in November 2022. Now, the people who cling to a narrative and need some emotional view to feed into the charts and say, well, the markets aren't moving till the ETF decisions, SBF is in court, he's going to jail, so this is going to help the markets. Everybody who needs a narrative for this market, institutional investors, they're saying that maybe the bull market is starting right now. Meanwhile, we've literally more than doubled in price. Guys, the bull phase, or this fifth impulsive wave movement, it started here. This is when it started. The first quarter saw tremendous price action to the upside, especially in your crypto AI plays, which I've spoken about exhaustively on this channel, okay? The Raiders. Yeah, them Raiders, they really suck this year. I haven't been following them, but they're sucking. Oh, I have no idea, Track. I have no idea. I appreciate that, man. I'm going to miss doing the live stream for a week. It might sound, on the one hand, the reality is it's only a week, but I'm so used to doing these live streams every day. It's a rarity when I miss. You guys know sometimes on a Friday, I'd drop off the live stream and not do it. But then Sundays lately I've been doing live streams. So even just like a week of not doing it, it's going to be very weird. Like, it's going to be very weird for me to be disconnected from the crypto community. I'm not even really going to be on Twitter much. So I'm going to be pretty disconnected. Yes, it's Willie. I do follow equities, and I do plan to speak to I speak to equities quite often on this channel because there is historically a positive correlation which exists between equities and crypto, and I've spoken exhaustively about that despite shorter moments in time where they disconnect from one another and truly do decorrelate for a brief period of time, but they are positively correlated. Guys, that's going to do it for the live stream. I hope that you found value. Specifically, this was really the main chart that I wanted to share with you, as well as an update in terms of how we closed. But I hope you found value in the live stream. If you did, I would appreciate some support on a thumbs up. I'd appreciate you sharing the live stream in Discord, on Twitter. I don't do Telegram, but anywhere if you find that other people would find the live stream value, the YouTube channel value, I would appreciate you sharing it. Like I said, I go live every single weekday, guys. Lately, I've been live streaming on Sundays. You know, taking a look at weekly closes with you guys. I eat, breathe, and sleep this shit. I really do. If you were, real quick before you guys tune out, if you were to take a look at if you were to take a look at a life in the day of CBG, you would see that it consists of working out, working, and charting. That is a typical day for me. That really is. And absorbing things on YouTube from a fundamental perspective as well. That is a day. So I eat, breathe, and sleep this stuff, and I look forward to continuing to chart all the information for you guys, telling you what I unbiasedly see in the data. Again, I appreciate everyone new tuning in. I will be back tomorrow around 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'll be back on Thursday. I will be back on Friday. I'll make sure to be back all 3 days, because Friday will be my last live stream for a week. So I'll be back on Friday, guys. Take care. TT, you get up at 5:30, brother. I'm getting up at 5 tomorrow. So I don't want to hear any. I don't want to hear any complaining over there. I'm getting up at 5 a.m. tomorrow, maybe 4:45. So, all right, guys. Take care of yourselves. Until next time, let's all spread awareness and let's carry the education forward.